Great American rap resurrect. Rest in peace, young F. Pouring live on the set. Pouring live on the set. Yeah. First off, say peace to Pine Ridge. Shame at all the damage that the white man wine did. Ghost dance, selling tears, 5 million beers a year, and all that other crime did. More pieces to the teachers of blind kids, to red bells and small cells, keeping their mind big. To everything's hostile, suicide bombers and prosperity gospels, emaciated models with cocaine and blood pouring out their nostrils. They got to, just to stay awake on the catwalk of life where everybody watch you. Straight hair, high heels, and a handbag. Crucifixes, racism, and a land grab. Katrina, FEMA trailers, human body sandbags. A peace sign and a pants sag. A money toss cause a 9-stripper mad dash. A friend request following a hashtag. Now everybody wanted like the last laugh. A Michael Jackson jacket or a Daft mask. Purple Jordans or the mixed girl in your math class. Stable is when the bad had Baghdad. But corporate jets really had to have that gas band. War and they hope they all fall from the rat attack. Cause that's just more dinosaur for the Cadillac. Live from the other side, what you see. A bunch of nonsense on my TV. Heaven on earth is what I need. When I feel I'm in hell every time I breathe. One live from the other side, what you hear. A bunch of nonsense all in my ear. Rich man, poor man, we all gotta pay. It's freedom ain't free, especially around my way. Marvel at the state of art of man. To turn around and treat Ghana like a garbage can. America's a big motherfucking garbage man. If you ain't know, you part and parcel of the proper land. You say no you ain't, and I say yes you is. Soon as you find out what planned obsolescence is, you say no they didn't, and I say yes they did. The definition of unnecessariness. Manifested, say that we should protest just to get arrested. That goes against all my hustling ethics. A bunch of jail niggas say it's highly ineffective. Depart from Martin, connect on Malcolm X tip. Insert ball when it's similar to separate. To me, the truth is more fulfilling than a method of finding really fast internet to have some sex with. It's all one song short of a set list. Couple croissants shy of a continental breakfast. Or blowing out your birthday candles just to make a death wish. So absurd, word to Chief Bone Necklace. Down at the Lakota Sioux Casino, a whole culture boiled down to giving you Pekino. I go as left as a heart in the chest, cause the Horn of Africa is now starving to death. Live from the other side, what you see. A bunch of nonsense on my TV. Heaven on earth is what I need. When I feel I'm in hell every time I breathe. One live from the other side, what you hear. A bunch of nonsense all in my ear. Rich man, poor man, we all gotta pay. Freedom ain't free, especially around my way. In all white Los Angeles, the dream of Mr. Chandler. Hope and pray they take Columbus Day up off the calendar. South Central, an example of God's gift. So shout to all the mothers raising babies in Spar 6. The projects to Oakland City, Detroit, ghost towns. Monopolies on poverty where D-boy coke bound. It's parts of Manila like the video for Thriller. But the U.S. Embassy is reminiscent of a villa. If poverty is chocolate and privilege vanilla, then what's the flavor of the Sunday preacher's pedophilia? Cash rules everything around these niggas. There's classrooms everywhere around me with Hither you can be Mr. Burns and Mr. Smithers, the tyrant or the slave, but nowhere in the middle of the extremes of America's dream. Freud fighting Neo, Freddy Cougar refereeing man. Live on the other side, what you see. A bunch of nonsense on my TV. Heaven on earth is what I need. When I feel I'm in hell every time I breathe. One live on the other side, what you hear. A bunch of nonsense all in my ear. Rich man, poor man, we all gotta pay. This freedom ain't free, especially around my way.
Yeah. Now everybody telling me a lie. Lord, they give me something for my soul. See, I don't wanna think of suicide, so please don't take the lucky on my door. See, I've been tired of fucking all these girls, and I've been tired of spending all my dough. And if I get my story to the world, I wonder if they book me for a show. See, you can't handle pressure on your own, so why you carry border by yourself? The story, tell it wrong, and glorify the horror in the wealth. come and tell me, come me home. And I just need some guidance in my steps. I know I'm not the only one alone. I know I'm not the only one that felt.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know I definitely did. Gonna do some quick TA recap. Just kind of keep the stream kind of short and sweet. Probably a nice 30, 40 minutes. I am contemplating switching to Twitch. So if you guys have any opinions on that, feel free to discuss them in the Discord. But the reason why I want to use Twitch is with YouTube, I can't play music the whole time. And there's like all these copyright things, and if I play another video while I'm on YouTube live stream, I'll get basically be a copyright strike. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'd really like to be able to play music or do what I want to do without getting hit on every single thing. On top of that, I think the whole Twitch subscriber thing's pretty cool. It's just like kind of another way for one, you guys to give back, and me to really like keep the stream schedule like more active, I guess. So anyways, let's get into stocks, and even before that, let's see who we got in here. What's up, Bart? How's it been, man? Haven't seen your name in a while. Yeah, they do have awful ads, but like so does YouTube. So I mean, it really depends on like I don't know how the ad system works. I'd imagine some kind of algorithm. So like if you're searching something, or I mean, I think it's algorithm based, similar to almost everything we do, because they're always watching. You can do a YouTube channel sub, you can, but I can't. Like again, I get copyright strikes on every single thing that I do. If it's not like purely me making, so like if I was gonna show a video of like BitBoy flipping out, I could get a copyright strike for that. Still short from 21,300. No hope in sight for the Bulls. We'll see. I mean, I'm seeing some possible, like, either we're gonna consolidate or we might get a nice bounce. We'll get into that. Dan, I really don't go over altcoins. I really only go over altcoins at the peak of the bull market, because honestly, altcoins are, to me, a lot of altcoins are more or less just scams, pump and dumps, and not saying that they, and just with TA in general. So you know, as much as negative as I am going to be on alts, ultimately like Bitcoin and Bitcoin's TA, somewhat Ethereum, really like paint the way for the rest of the market, how the rest of the market's going to move. So if Bitcoin's bearish, it doesn't matter if like Sol or Matic or Doge or anything like that is looking bullish, because ultimately Bitcoin can drag the rest of the market with it. And I've seen plenty of altcoin setups, and I've been screwed over on plenty of altcoin setups just because Bitcoin was like, nope, I'm going down. And if Bitcoin's bearish, I can't trade an alt if it looks bullish. It's just not how it works for me. Buy nothing until next year, nothing at all. I've already started buying. I think everyone, so, and we're going to go over the everyone methodology again because I think more people need to hear it. But for now, let's go over quick overview of stocks. So a couple things. Looks like the S&P 500 is trying to flip the daily, this daily level that's been very confluent both as support and resistance, trying to flip it as support. If it does, we're more than likely going to retest the diagonal. Really, until we break 4,200 is where I'd say, yeah, okay, we're starting to end that downtrend. It's starting to look better, but really need to break 4,300 and put in a higher high for anyone to say like, okay, we're probably going to continue going up. I have a really hard time believing that with basically the way the economy's going. Went to the grocery store. I got 5 bags of groceries, which most of it was like bread, cheese, milk, whatever, pasta. It was like $110. Like 2 years ago, that would have been $40 or $50. And I don't shop at some bougie grocery store. It's just like a general grocery store. You think Sol going to zero after all? Again, I don't trade Sol, man. I can't really give an opinion on something I don't really like know a lot about. You know what I mean? But S&P, yeah, break 4,300. We'll start talking about potential continuation of bull run. But in my opinion, still in a downtrend, just kind of moving sideways, and ultimately this kind of very big sideways movement. It's just consolidation to continue lower, kind of get rid of those weekly divergences, and even so, let's take a look at the weekly and see if there are any divergences. So, looking like we're kind of resolving these bullish divergences here, especially if we do break this level. I think we'll continue going down. Ultimately, you guys know me, 32 to 2,600 is where I'm looking at for a potential bottom, but we might not even ever get there. Not really going to cover the NASDAQ. Really look at the S&P 500. Not going to look at the NASDAQ. But VIX, one thing that I do want to say, and just very brief overview. So for those of you who don't know, the VIX over the 45 or hitting that 45, it's a volatility indicator. So basically when you have a massive sell-off, basically when you hit the bottom, you have a massive sell-off. Everyone's scared. Everyone's terrified. We have 2020, 2018, 2015, both 2015, 2018 were like mini recessions. And then obviously 2008 and then the early 2000s. So very much an indicator, a lot of confluence with other bear market bottoms. It'd be really weird that this doesn't hit 45 or we see some massive sell-off. To me, I mean, as much as I want to say that this is just going to continue sideways before spiking, I think that's more or less on the table. I'm confused with XRP. I've been holding it for 1.5 years. Should I sell it and buy back lower? I don't trade XRP. I think XRP is its relative strength is horrible. It hasn't made a new all-time high since the last bull market. And to me, it just shows weakness against the rest of crypto. I don't think it's going anywhere. Also, if you didn't know this, they can continue to just make more XRP out of thin air, which will decrease its value. DXY. Ultimately still in our very large bullish uptrend, more or less like a breakout, kind of retest of a major area of support at the 105 level. I really didn't think we'd lose 110, but we did. It doesn't mean that this is entirely bearish. And I know there's going to be people on Twitter tomorrow that say that this is a head and shoulders. Guys, this is not a head and shoulders. Ultimately, you can't make a head and shoulders that's this volatile. I've never seen one like that play out. To me, it looks like we might just continue sideways before continuing upwards, maybe make some kind of inverted head and shoulders, is a little bit more spread out, a little less volatile. But ultimately, we've said that a large sideways movement here is perfectly fine. We are still in a very large uptrend, and ultimately, I know I've said ultimately a lot, but really we're looking at a very massive parabolic uptrend. When you have something that goes parabolic, a large relief rally needs to happen so that this can continue forward. For those of you that were bullish on Bitcoin back when it hit 40K, we dropped from 42,000 all the way to 28K. That is, I believe, a 35% drop, if off the top of my head, 32% drop. Very large drop, very large. But we needed that so we could continue all the way to 65. So a pullback like that, especially when you're in a very parabolic uptrend on a weekly chart, is very, very much not only needed, but expected at that point. So very bullish. I know people on Twitter are going to say that, DXY has broken its parabolic uptrend and now it's bearish. And no, guys, this is not an uptrend. You can't make an uptrend that fits your bias like that. This is an uptrend that fits people's bias, right? Like, we haven't even lost a major level yet. And if we think like normal human beings, this is unsustainable without this. So this upward movement, if it continued going up, one, it's unsustainable and does not make any sense. Two, this needs to happen so that this can continue going up. DXY two-day chart about to print bullish divergence. Let's see the weekly, because honestly, I don't really look below weekly. Oh, and on top of that, as many people are going to say, oh, the DXY looks bearish. This is huge, huge bullish divergence. I mean, you're talking enormous bullish divergence. Again, I don't see the DXY going anywhere, especially when MACD has no bearish divergence. We did have some bearish divergence on here, and that's why we had this major sell-off. It was more or less a period for the DXY to relieve, to cool off, to allow for these indicators to reset so we could continue rising right back up. Total, losing that horizontal support. So that's pretty scary. We've talked about the idea of this being a bear flag breakdown, and now we're breaking down horizontal support. This is obviously not a good sign for crypto, and ultimately it's why I'm still extremely bearish. I mean, this is about as bearish as a structure as it gets, especially with losing this horizontal. I mean, I know altcoins are getting absolutely shit on. They're definitely catching up in the fact that they're losing a lot of value to Bitcoin. I mean, look at Ethereum. Ethereum's definitely getting hammered. Now, I do believe that Bitcoin's put in lower lows since Ethereum has, but I do know that altcoins generally have a delay when it comes to Bitcoin moving down or up, for that matter. That's why the top of the bull market is actually marked by altcoins going up rather than Bitcoin going up. Let's get into Bitcoin. Let's get into some TA. So a couple things, guys. I want people to know, and I talked about this in the Discord, a lot of people are spreading a lot of FUD. A lot of people are spreading a lot of just like crappy info, crappy TA. They're saying, oh, it's going to zero, all this, all that. So these, I want to say, are people, and this is no offense to anyone, but a lot of the same people I know that are saying these things bought the tops. You know, bought the tops here, bought all these peaks, and are now getting absolutely hammered, whether they held or not, or maybe they already realized their loss, and now they're very negative on crypto, and that's their own opinion, and that's fine. I'm, cool with that. But from someone who didn't buy the tops, and I did buy near the top in 2018, but someone who didn't buy near these tops, I think crypto's fine. Crypto is a new, innovative technology, and the bad, I guess the bad light on crypto, or the negatives in crypto, are obviously going to stand out a lot more when it's down. I mean, you're talking Bitcoin's down almost 80% from all-time highs. But if we zoom out completely, right, and I'm not saying that this is going to follow the exact same suit that it's followed for the last 12, 13 years, but all of these bear market bottoms were marked by 80+% declines. I mean, you have 2018, 84%. You have 2014, which I believe was 86%, I want to say. 87, almost 90%. You have some of these other crashes, so this other peak in 2013, a 76, almost 80% decline. So I don't want to say that it isn't impossible that Bitcoin will just get removed off the map and go to zero and everyone loses all their money. But just like back when we were at 50, 60K and everyone said we'd go to 100K, now we're at 15,000 and now everyone's saying we're going to zero, right? Or we're going to 3K or we're going to 10K. And, this isn't financial advice, but when an asset that's down 80%, that has made multiple comebacks after being down 80% plus, when I would argue actually had more negative light back in 2017, back in 2015, 2013, all these other major declines, and it really didn't have any use case other than buying and selling drugs on the internet. Now you're looking at crypto, like Link is used with the weather app. They're looking at implementing blockchain technology in the medical space, especially in South Korea. Look into it. It's pretty cool. But also crypto is popular. Like everyone kind of knows what it is. I know a lot of people have a bad opinion, but think about it this way. Everyone had a good opinion here. Crypto's the best. Buy it. Buy it all. Okay, well now people have a negative opinion here and they're saying sell it all. Do you see what I'm trying to sell you? Like, I'm not saying that there isn't a possibility that your investment and you could lose a lot of money on it. So do it smart, do it the right way, dollar cost average. But you see a trend here. In 2018, everyone was around the Thanksgiving dinner table. Ultimately, when this peaked, even Thanksgiving going into Christmas before this very fast and large decline. Well, really not Christmas, but Thanksgiving, and everyone was around the Thanksgiving table. Bitcoin's great. Bitcoin's the change. Bitcoin's that. Bitcoin's this. Well, in 2018, everyone said it was a scam and it was never going to make a comeback. We're never going to see 10K again. Bitcoin's just going to do a big circle all the way from 20K here to zero here, and that's where it's going to end up, and that's where it's going to be the rest of its life. Well, we went from 3K to 69,000. And I will say that this move was not organic, but the other move was. This move was organic. There was volume. There was spot buying. There wasn't derivatives trading. There wasn't massive amounts of leverage in the market. So I just want you guys to realize, and I want to point out that even though there is a lot of negativity in the space right now, and it's why a lot of people are saying, nope, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. FTX this, and I'm scared and worried. I can guarantee you are the same person that we're buying here and saying Bitcoin's going to 100K, Bitcoin's just going to go to 300 and 500K, and all these altcoins are a million times returns. Okay, so no, and that never happened, and a lot of people got burned here. Well, now you're going to get burned here because I can guarantee, and people are cyclical in nature. They're going to they're going to not buy here, and then when we go all the way up to 80K, they're going to buy again there. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. We don't have Rust. I think Bitcoin will hit 11,000. Maybe. It's possible. But I'm not really looking to short anymore. I've come out publicly and said I'm not looking to short. I don't think the large trading opportunities from this point moving forward are going to be short. Yes, there could be another 50% decline all the way to 7K, but how likely is that? How honest to yourself do you think that we're going to drop 50% from where we currently are? I do think Ethereum will drop 50% from where we are, but Bitcoin, how low do you think Bitcoin's going to go? And again, just my opinion, but guys, I've given you the cyclical chart. Everyone's bullish at the top and everyone's bearish at the bottom. That's how people work. They see red and they're bearish. I mean, look at some of these traders on Twitter. They have no fucking clue what they're doing. Is the Bitcoin bottom in? Probably not. And I was going to discuss this. There's a couple things we need to see to determine a crypto bottom, and you're going to want to look at stocks, right? If you came here to find out if the Bitcoin bottom's in, I have no fucking clue and no one does. So stop asking other people if they know the bottom is. But you can use charts and data to determine if it's a good place or if it's a good area to be at a bottom, which I would argue no. The stock market's still in a downtrend. You know, we're still going to look at and have backlash from FTX. So ultimately, if you want to see a bottom in, you want to see the stock market put in an uptrend, or you want to see the stock market crash. $11.8 is the last of the market maker positions that have not been closed. How do you even know that? Did you get that from BitBoy screen or stream? I don't think anyone knows that. I don't think there's a lot of accurate data on that. 3,400. Again, there are people saying lower, we want lower, but these are the same people that bought at 50 and 60K expecting for 100. So that's you guys are answering the point I'm trying to say. The bottom is not going to be 3K. The bottom is not going to be 1K. It's not going to be 6K. It's going to be a number that no one expects. It's going to come sooner than people realize because retail misses the train. Retail always buys the top. There's always a lot of people that, they don't pay attention unless it's hyped up. And obviously there's a lot of negativity. So people are saying it's a scam and all this and all that. And there is a lot of scams in crypto, but there's a lot of scams in every industry. It's just being blown out of proportion. Because it's crypto and it's skeptical and it's a new asset and humans fear change, and that's just the sad reality of it. LOL, it's the title of the stream. Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like the answer of the stream is no one knows where the bottom is. So stop asking where the bottom. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The answer's in the stream. Is the bottom in? No. So stop asking me. Stop asking other people. And if people give you an answer, they have no idea what they're talking about. No one knows. Yeah, and thank you, Joe. I was the only, not the only. There are other people that were bearish, but I was one of the only people that was bearish up here. And obviously bearish. I was bearish on this whole thing. And did I miss a potential move? Sure, I'm okay with that. But I made money from buying all the way down here and selling all the way up there. I made money from buying here and selling here. I did buy some here and I did sell it here. I missed the other half of the move. But what I'm trying to tell you is I was one of the very few people that was bearish here, bearish this entire time. And now I've started buying. I just bought 30 Ethereum and I'm moving it to a ledger this weekend whenever it comes in. What's up, yes, sir? Yeah, sorry, I kind of missed the time. I was at the store and it just took forever. The bottom, this guy says the bottom is in, which it could be, who knows? But I'm not going to give an answer on is the bottom in. I started buying, I bought 30 Ethereum, and if it drops 50%, I'm fine. My Ethereum's going on my ledger, and I'm not even going to remember if it's there or not until 5 years from now when I open it up and Ethereum's at 10,000 and all these people that were like, oh, well, Ethereum's bottom is at $20 or whatever. Like, Ethereum's not going to $20. Like, It's way too mainstream for that. Why Ethereum and not Bitcoin? You don't think I'm putting Bitcoin in my ledger? Bitcoin, I've got a bunch of stuff that's going in my ledger, but my big buy was Ethereum. Yeah, is stuff still expensive at the store? You don't buy stuff at the store, man. Yeah, it's expensive. A fucking loaf of bread's like $6. I'm just buying the generic stuff. I'm not even buying the expensive stuff. And my apologies for all of the kind of slip ups. I had a very long weekend. I watched the South Carolina Tennessee game for anyone that saw it, and wow, it was amazing. Just a whole weekend of nonstop having fun. Just keep it on Binance, better than a ledger. Uh, is it though? Because you could take your ledger and put it in a safe and it won't ever disappear. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I think that's a good point, Socks. Your friend is a market maker. I kind of doubt that, but okay. Have I been watching the World Cup? Nah, unfortunately, I just like never grew up with soccer. Like I'm American and I watch like American football. Uh, so like I never got into soccer, football, whatever. I know you guys call it football over there. We call it soccer here. I just never really got into it. However, when I used to live in Miami, when the World Cup came on, it was crazy. Like, and it was really cool to watch with all these other people because everyone else is into it. Everyone's obviously Hispanic capital of America, at least Miami, Florida, and it was just crazy going out to bars with all my friends, and I felt like I kind of got into it because everyone else was into it. You know, it's like a huge party for like however long the World Cup lasts, and like we would stop working and watch the games, or like go out on like Tuesday, Wednesday night, whatever, like drink all night, watch a bunch of the games. Like they'd have certain bars where like whoever from wherever went to, and like it was pretty cool. Like if there were people around me that were doing that, which there really aren't. Not a lot of people are like super into soccer here, like it was down there when I watched it last. So for me, I'm not really watching it that much. It's unfortunate. I wish I could kind of get into it, but man, poor Hooker, man. But that wasn't because he went down. They were losing the entire time, and I will say one thing: being in that stadium, man, it was electric from the minute I got in. Like, it gives you goosebumps going in. It's like 'cause college football is the best sport in America, at least here, best sport in America. Like, there's no way, like no other sport, even in the NFL, like it doesn't get that hype. Like you have fans chirping at each other on the way in. You have, and it's good banter, but everyone's into it. The stadium's playing music, the student section's going crazy. It's just completely different experience. It's very hard to explain, but from the minute I got in, man, like, it was electric. Like everyone was into it. Everyone was watching. By halftime, like no one could believe what was happening. Like this unranked team beating Tennessee by almost 20 points, and then going into the end of the game, winning by almost 40 points difference. It's crazy. I don't watch football, but there's one particular match I'm watching for sure. Which match is that? Wouldn't make sense for the bear market to end until Ethereum is at least retest. Okay, but it could, but Ethereum's also a deflationary asset now. ACL injury 6 months, and he should be back playing. Probably. We hope. I mean, I hope he recovers well, but I don't think him being out of the game was why Tennessee lost. Like South Carolina's offense looked great every time they had the ball. Every time they're confident, they're moving the ball down the field. Now Tennessee's the better team. I'll say that. I'm not going to say South Carolina's better than Tennessee. Hell no. But if Tennessee's a good team, they should have a backup quarterback that's equally as good, or maybe a little bit less as good as Hooker. I mean, you look at some of these other teams. Alabama. You have Ohio State. You have I don't want to say TCU, but you have Georgia. I mean, all these other teams have backups or other players that can step in and take charge on the field. You can't just rely on one person. That's a terrible investment. I go to Chiefs games a lot and love those. I'm sure that's fun. I'm sure it is. Go Gators. Nothing worse than a Gators fan. Nothing worse than a Gators fan. I'm sure those are fun games too. But guys, I'm gonna end it here. I gotta go cook dinner. I've got a really big week this week with Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna try and stream as much as I can. Probably won't be able to Friday. Probably will on Wednesday. So kind of stick around. It'll be same time. I will definitely be able to. Well, I don't know. See, my problem is like all of my extended family comes into town this week, so it's kind of up in the air. If I need to, I'll try and stream a little early, but I'll let you guys know on Twitter. With all that